What I did assign is, again, following in the footsteps of Murshid Sam, to do one of the centering exercises from Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. I picked 5 of them, and to do, but to choose one to do for a few minutes every day for the next month. Now, here are the ones I chose as options. So how about we take a few minutes on each one of these right now, and then if there are questions that come up about what's really being intended here, we can do that. The first one is something we've been doing already in one sense. Whenever in-breath and out-breath fuse, at this instant, touch the energyless, energy-filled center. Whenever in-breath and out-breath fuse, so they fuse twice, but we're not so much just pausing and reflecting on that place, that Kamal place of perfection where the breath turns over, but we want to be able to feel the energy in that emptiness, the boundless energy and power that's right there in that place that's neither up nor down, in that place where in and out have fused, in that space. So whenever in-breath and out-breath fuse, at this instant, touch the energyless, energy-filled center. Any questions on this? I take that as a no. Any success with this? Yeah? Better than some other times? Yeah?
Keep trying.
You know, it's there. when you don't try, when you just are. Yeah. Okay, let's take another one. Feel your substance, bones, flesh, blood, saturated with cosmic essence. Feel your substance, bones, flesh, blood, saturated with cosmic essence. Any questions or on this, comments? Yeah?
I have a question, but I noticed just that I could just feel the energy just kind of moving in my body, kind of almost like a throbbing. And then it went away, and there's one spot between my knee and ankle that just kept. So I just kind of put my focus there. It was just very interesting.
Yeah.
Air between my molecules.
Air between your space.
It's like
Yeah.
my body,
Well, it is.
Yeah.
yes, and I felt that.
Mhm.
The air and space was moving between my atoms and my rings. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, the phrase cosmic essence is undefined enough for you to put your own, intuitive sense into it.
That did come back in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. If your mind starts, thinking about it, you just, you're not gonna do the practice. That's for, I mean, it's okay to reflect on it afterwards, but these are things to just immediately come to intuitively, directly, without a lot of thinking about it. But if you were to define cosmic essence, you could say God. I mean, you could say, what if all these words are lame. God, essence, that, suchness, the suchness. Who wrote the poem about the suchness of a suchness or something? Was it, I think it was, I'm thinking of the guy that wrote Alice in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll wrote something about a suchness. But suchness, thatness, isness. Kant called it the transcendental unity of perception, of apperception. A lot of words out there, as he said to Hamlet, what are you reading? Words, words, words. But, a word is nothing but a suggestion. Everything, in fact everything, is a pointing finger, a metaphor, a sign. The scriptures are nothing but collections of signs to point you towards essence, which is beyond words, beyond concepts. So, I mean, you got to have some word that points to that which is beyond concepts. And, so poets choose different words in different contexts, and, so that's my intellectual answer to the thing about cosmic essence. But it felt good. It did. It gave you the permission just to take it all in, right into the bones, right into the blood, to whatever it is, that you have access to in that realm. Yeah.
If I'm normally somewhat spaced out, maybe I should choose that.
Well, yeah. Are you normally somewhat special?
Sorry?
Are you? So what?
I can be, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can be unfocused. So if I do that, maybe that's not the right one for me.
Well, it's not something to do while you're walking down the street necessarily, or driving your car, or in the middle of where you have to access logical mind, and you have to access, a lot of your ordinary consciousness. But it might be a good practice to do before bed, for example.
But who's to say suchness won't profoundly ground you?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that. But your fear will keep you from doing it. See, so the important thing is to know where you feel comfortable doing something, and in general practices that are asking us to lose our sense of self. This is really asking you to, enhance it, to feel the, right here, there, in every fleck of dust, a Buddha. That's the Avatamsaka Sutra, every mote of dust in the a Buddha world, it's a cosmic essence, penetrating everywhere. That's the oneness teaching. So it is grounding when you get it. But it takes one through the place of emptiness to find the place of groundedness. This is one I've never been able to do. I've tried many, many times to do it. This is what's called a disclosure. But Moinudin, Pir Moinudin, when Murshid gave these practices to everybody to do, I mean, everybody that came to his class, he said, take one of these and work with it, and just, stick with one or two for a while and see what the effect is. This was the one that Muhyiddin got his first real deep experience of waking up in, so I take his word for it. I've tried, but I can get to the first part of it. With intangible breath in center of forehead, as this reaches heart at the moment of sleep, have direction over dreams and over death itself. With intangible breath, well, we're not going to try and go to sleep here. If you could just lie down and go to sleep right now, with intangible breath, I would definitely, turn everything over to you right now. But it's something to reflect on, you read this and you say, whoa, but what do you think that, I know when I've tried to do this practice, I can get very peaceful and very intangible breath, and I can have my awareness here, but somehow or other I've never been able to catch that heart moment of the moment of sleep, not to say having direction. I have occasionally had those kind of lucid dreams where you have power and will in the dream realm, and also where you are things that are filled with spiritual power and access to power through that dream space, and been able to do some of this kind of dream manipulation where you are the instinctive thing in dreams is to run away from what scares you, and instead if you can insert enough consciousness into the dream world and remember to always turn towards and not away from that which is frightening, and face it, and if necessary, know that you can call on Allahu Akbar or Murshid or whatever allies that you have, but it's facing it always turns that entity into an ally. And they transform and they become an ally. And this is something that's not surprising to people that do different kinds of inner work. It's hard to access the dream realm in a way in which you retain a sense of will. But there are some good books on the subject if you're so inclined. Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche has a book on dream yoga, which I found interesting. But this is something to consider. You can play around with a few of these and then settle on one, you see. When breath is all out, which is, if you consider the curve of the breath is out, it's up, and the breath is in, it's down. Okay. So when breath is all out, up, and stopped of itself, or all in, down, and stopped, in such universal pause, one small self vanishes. So this is very akin to what we've been doing. It's just another way of coming at it. At that moment when the breath is turning over, you really let that small sense of self, that false self that we hold on to, this idea of self, dissolve. And that is something I'd like for us to just try. At these two turning places, feel the dissolving of self, of the small self that is our creation, our story. And there's just one more that I chose, but if you are, I'm sure you can find one of these you can work with. As breath comes silently in, feel the sound HH. It's that end of Allah. Surprising, this comes up in a Shiva sutra of thousands of years before, or hundreds and hundreds of years before, comes up.